What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of The Long Dark. A fun little game. I've been having fun with it. I really sincerely like this game. Like, I don't want to... Sometimes people like second guess me and they be like, I don't even know if he likes this game. And this is one of those games that there can be no doubt. Let it be known that I am very excited for where this is going in the future. Much in the same way that I'm excited about Cosmonautica. There's a lot of games right now that show a ton of promise. They are making promises, and I hope that they keep them. I sincerely do. And there we go. I've used up my sincerely allocations for the day, so no longer, throughout the remainder of this episode, I shall be completely and totally insincere, because I've used the word sincerely far too much already. There it goes again. I'm already over my quota. Now, this wolf over here needs to go away, and if I can run him off somehow, that would be good. Or if I could just avoid him. Either or. I'll take either situation. It feels like -9. Oh, good. So we're well below freezing at this point, which is... It sounds like there's another one on my right, too. How many wolves are over here? Let's see if we can scare them off for a minute. Yeah, get on out of here. I have made man's great fire for the second time, and you will flee from me, doggy. That's right, off that way, run your bad self away. You furry little bastard. Alright, and so if there's another one over here, we need to find him. I'm not going to allow that hissing to get to me right now because it reminds me that there's no snakes in the snow, which makes me really happy. Seriously, snakes totally suck. If I had like a nickel for every time a rattlesnake nearly bit me, I would have probably like 8 or 9 nickels, to be honest, because that's one of the biggest hazards that I have to deal with when I go out on surveys, just snakes everywhere. Alright, so let's check the pack. Got some matches, okay. Metal container, what you got for me? A candy bar! Candy bars. Nothing on that, and alright, dead guy, what you got? A toke. That's it, huh? Not the biggest, most positive gain. However, there's a dead deer over here. I almost climbed on top of this once, but the game seems to not like it. Maybe, I don't know, they should implement like a jump or something. I like jumping. I'm one of those people that like hops and skips and jumps in between locations. I think we'll probably follow the tracks down here. I mean, we've already expended some of our supplies just to get here, so we might as well... Oh, basic boots. Okay, well... Alright, well, pulling the shoes off the dead, that's a very valid tactic. I mean, if somebody's dead, they aren't going to need them, and shoes are really important to your survival efforts. As far as living longer than... I don't know, it's cold out. It's real chilly right now, but let's go ahead and grab all of that. And I don't mean real chilly as in lovely baked bean substances. Don't we have a knife? No, we picked up a hunting knife, but it's gone now. Yeah, the hunting knife is gone. That's a little bit interesting. I thought we had a hunting knife. I thought we were in business, but I guess not. I suppose we are not in business. We are out of business. Well, we're going to have to try and track that down, too. I wonder if it just didn't save the loot status, which really makes me kind of nervous about playing the game much longer. If it's not saving the loot status and we're going to be running around doing the same things every single episode, that really does leave me feeling a tad terrified about the prospects of going much further, because I thought we had a hunting knife, but maybe that was in the previous playthrough. I would swear we had a hunting knife. I would swear up and down and left and right. Oh well. Directionality aside, at least we're still alive, so it could be a lot worse. Let's walk off in this direction with our flare and do our best not to set the forest on fire. I don't think that we will, but it might happen. I like playing around with magnesium flares. I think that they are a lot of fun. We also need to be aware of our surroundings, just kind of keep our ears and our eyes open for any wolves or anything else that might be around here. I've never gone off in this direction, so right now I'm using the railroad tracks as my point of reference because I've never actually been this far down the tracks before, and so if we find ourselves in a bad situation, I'm just going to follow those on back home. I also want to pay attention to the time. We want to watch out for I almost said dayfall. That is not a thing. Dayfall is not a thing that exists. We want to watch out for nightfall. There we are. Night falls, day rises. They both do two different things. One levitates, the other does not. It looks like we have a lot of prepared wood over here, which actually... I wonder if you scavenge wood better over here than in other locations. That's something else that I would be interested to find out just in the way that the game works. We got a couple of dead guys over here and another dead deer. A train loading area. Okay. Well, if I know anything about trains, there's a hunting knife.
I could use this.
And a granola bar. Just run around the forest with a knife and a granola bar. Just like, ah, adventure! Bear Grylls has inspired me. Find me a waterfall so I can jump off of it. Ah! I'm gonna be honest, like that show, that survival show, it's pretty fake, but at the same time, it is entertaining and it does get people stoked about nature, so I can't hate on it. Let's see if maybe we can get... It's going to take us 8 minutes to get the meat off this thing. Yeah, let's try. Let's see what we get out of this thing. Kind of see what happens here. Did we get anything? So we got a little bit of meat out of him. Oh, and we can get... Oh, okay, so it's going to take us 40 minutes, but we can gut it. We can take the hide as well, so let's go ahead and do that. We're expending a lot of calories right now, but we got 4 leather, and if we gut it, what do we get? What happens if you harvest guts? Oh, you just get 2 gut. Okay. Alright. Well, we've been down this way, and it looks like we're running out of daylight. So I think we're going to go... Yeah, don't do that, man. One of the first signs that you're hypothermic is that you get super sleepy. Don't be laying down. It's like getting a concussion. Do not fall asleep. Just resist the urge. Keep moving. Run. Do some jumping jacks. Get that blood flowing. And so we're actually pretty exhausted right now. We need to make it back to camp, and if we black out here, it's going to really sort of negatively affect our survival prospects. So I'm going to keep him running, I'm going to keep him sprinting, and it's just about time to go to bed anyways. So we've accomplished quite a bit for today. This has been a really productive day for us, and we've ended up with a lot of things that we didn't have previously. We have recovered the lost hunting knife. Maybe we had it in the previous playthrough, I don't know. I have a bad memory, and so I don't tend to really log these things for later. Maybe we can use... Oh, the wolves better not have come back. If the wolves are up in here, that is going to be problematic. We do have 1 flare left, but I would prefer not to use it for... You know... I mean, I would prefer to use it not to travel in between locations we've already been in. Yeah, the wolf is over here. I bet you don't feel so good. Your condition is looking quite suspect at the moment. Well, I'll get a flare out for right now just in case we need to use it. But it does sound like the wolves are out and about and looking for blood. And I don't want them to have my blood. My blood, I need it right now. I'm using it. If I die out here in the snow, they're more than welcome to help themselves. The circle of life and all that. You know, holding tiger babies up in the sky and whatnot. Lion babies. That was a lion. That was not a tiger. That was a lion. God, I make the funniest slips when I'm just doing like monologues when I'm playing a video game. I make the weirdest, most humorous slips. Not holding a tiger baby up. Where did that even come from? Oh, well. What we want to do is get to the other side of this hill, and we want to find the train tracks, because that's going to be our point of reference so that we can find our way home. And this is not the way home. Of that, I can virtually assure you. And so now we're exhausted, which means that we are becoming encumbered. What did that do to us? It lowers our ability to carry by half. And so it might be worthwhile at this point to eat our way through... a candy bar or something. I don't think that that'll really help that much, but...
I'm so tired.
Yeah, don't do that. Once again, I really sincerely think, every now and again, anyways, I try not to think too much because it makes my noodle hurt, but I think that if you fall asleep, you might not ever wake up. And so let's not do that right now, huh? Huh? Let's keep it moving, Scooter. Hup to, hup to, hup to. Oh, man, I'm gonna have to make a jump right here. I messed up. Well, maybe not. Maybe I can just go around this way. We can't sprint anymore, though, and we're running out of daylight, so I'm not really interested in traveling by torchlight anytime soon. We don't need to get medieval on this thing. At least we went around the wolves, so that's a bonus. But we checked over there for guns. Unfortunately, there are a lot of locations in this game. I mean, there's a hydroelectric dam we haven't been to yet. There's a number of places that I've seen in previous playthroughs, and actually I'm sort of interested to see if we can make it back to the hunter's cabin tomorrow on our next day, because I'm thinking that they might have respawned the loot there. If they've respawned the loot everywhere else and it didn't count what we looted, did it not count the loot at the hunter's place either? And on the plus side, we can just kind of harvest deer while we're running around as well. Apparently gutting a deer is really tiring though, because it burned us out pretty quickly. Our house is right over here, and once we get back inside, things are gonna be goot. We can make it. Hold the flare of power. It's a flare of walking +5, and it's the only thing that's keeping us moving right now. Never go on outdoor adventures without a flare of walking +5. I put on a coat before I started because it's been weird. We're starting to make the transition here in California into fall, and so in the afternoons it's super hot, but at like 10 in the morning it's really, really cold, and so we've got like this weird desert weather going on right now where you basically have the ultimate extremes in weather where you're jumping between like 40 degrees at night and 80 degrees during the day. And so I put on a coat when I get out of bed in the morning because I'm like freezing, and then right about 12:30, which is when I'm recording this right now, it starts to get warm, and usually I'm like in the middle of a video and I'm like, oh my god, I've got my coat on right now, and my armpits are so sweaty, so many fluids coming out of my body right now, and I really need to take off my jacket, and unfortunately, it's just not an option. Hand on the mouse at all times. While casting, you shall never remove your hand from the mouse.
First aid. Soon.
Okay, so what do we want to do right now? How much meat did we get? We got like a little steaky steak, and I'm thinking I'm going to try and cook that up right now. Let's go ahead and get our house warmed up for the evening. Dead guy, how's it going? I know you're keeping it real up here, just kicking it, just bicking back and all that. Let's go ahead and go over here. Yeah, that's a reference I don't really want to explain. Anyways, let's continue.
Wait. I'm so cold.
Dry and crunchy. So do you cook gut or what? Oh, it's for crafting and repair, so I suppose that's more, it's like sinew essentially is what they're saying with the gut. And so a lot of people don't know this, but back in the day guitar strings and everything used to be made out of horse gut and things of that nature, so that's kind of what they're referencing right there. We can use leather on a lot of different stuff. We got 15 rifle bullets, but we got nothing to use them with, so I suppose we'll just kind of keep our nose to the grindstone and try and figure out whatever it is that we need to get done right here. So I'm going to use this. We're going to take one of these, and we're just going to use the accelerant right now. We've got so much accelerant that I don't really mind using it. And that gives us a 90% chance of getting the fire started. And if you mess up with accelerant, I'm not really sure what to say to you, because it's the old engine trick. It should work pretty well. Now then, it looks like everything that we looted in here still counts, and so I am sort of leaning towards the fact that perhaps it counted for the Hunter's Lodge, but we may go back and check. If nothing else, it'll give us an opportunity to harvest a whole bunch of deer parts. And so, let's go ahead and we'll grab some firewood for right now. I'm going to throw some extra fire on here, some extra wood on here. Let's throw a fire log on there. And we'll throw that on there. And we want to front stock the amount of water that we have as well, so that to worry about. Let's go ahead and cook up some venison. It's been a long time since I've had venison. I think the last time I had venison, I was probably 14 or 15 years old. I don't eat it very often. We eat elk every now and again. And I find elk to be incredibly pleasing. In fact, I like elk a lot better than I like venison. But elk can be harder to come by, I think. An elk hunt is a little bit more serious than a deer hunt. Deer are like everywhere. I mean, you can't throw a rock without hitting a deer where I grew up. They're all over the place, eating your rose bushes and just causing all kinds of havoc. Let's see here. Where's that venison that's cooked? Let's try it. Let's go ahead. Oh, 1,000 calories. Really? Cool. Well, if we can consistently find these bodies to eat, I think it's going to be a great way to keep ourselves just topped off on caloric intake. I mean, we're looking real good right now. Let's go ahead and eat those, and that'll get us through the night. Nice little 2,000 calorie dinner right there. I think we're out of venison for the moment, but we do want to take you... we're dehydrated. Let's go ahead and drink some water. We're basically maxed out on dehydration right now, so I'm going to use this as a little bit of an empirical opportunity to figure out how much water it takes us to go from max to min. And so we're at 3.29 liters right now. Let's go ahead and give that a go and see how much it takes. And so from 3.29 liters, that took us down to 2.29. So it takes you a liter a day to survive. So I think we do want to make the best of our time right now. And let's go ahead and we're going to boil some more snow. Let's go ahead and get our... How long is this going to take? Let's go for 3 liters, and we'll just kind of see how long it takes. Oh, it doesn't take that long. We'll be fine. We've got more than enough time to get this done. And so there's that right there. And now what I'd like to do is we're going to go ahead and boil off 3 liters. Because we may run out of firewood at some point, what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to ensure that we have at least enough water to get us maybe a week to 2 weeks in the future. And this is something you should try and ensure if you're in a survival situation. Now, that's something that I haven't really touched on a lot in these episodes, but there are do's and don'ts of water safety that you really kind of want to observe. And so if you know that you've given people information about where you're hanging out and about where you're going to be spending your time out in the wilderness, you can drink water that has not been properly prepared. Just be very careful. So let's say that you're going to be drinking creek water. You're going to want to walk at least a mile upstream, maybe 2 or 3 miles upstream, just to make sure that there's no like you know, dead deer or dead rats or anything else floating in the water that are going to be contaminating it, because that you really, really don't want to drink, because you wouldn't think it, but that can contaminate the water really, really far downstream. Like, that's a pretty major issue. In that case, you are going to want to boil your water, but if you walk the length of the river, you walk up and down it, and you make sure that there's nothing in it, you can get away with drinking water straight out of a creek or straight out of a stream if you're really desperate. Just be aware that you are putting yourself at risk for giardia, you are putting yourself at risk for parasites, things of that nature. But if you're going to be picked up in the next couple days and antibiotics are not too far off in the distance, don't worry about it. Just go ahead and do it. Drink the water you need to get by, and you'll worry about your medical health. Why does it keep taking off my basic winter coat? Why is... It keeps taking off my gear, and I'm not sure why. Wait, what? Hold on, is that a different winter coat? A basic winter coat, I'm sorry. So 2.9 bonus. And versus the quality. How good is the quality one? Oh, wow. The quality one. Okay, so the quality winter coat. We need to come up with a way to maybe patch this thing up and make it... Because I think it's probably one of the better coats in the game, but it's so worn down that it's not really doing much for us right now. Our thirst is already back up, so our thirst is looking a little bit iffy. I think I'll probably... We'll just sleep for now, I think. Because our caloric values... It took us 2,000 calories to boil some water. Seems unlikely. Seems very unlikely, sir. Let's go ahead and we're going to drop some of our water supply over here. And so we've got 5 liters. Let's go ahead and we're going to drop 4 liters of it. No, not all. 4. There we go. And we'll drop that right here. Is that going to be in some kind of receptacle? Oh, it is. It's in water bottles. Fantastic. Absolutely great. And so you'll see right there, that gets rid of a large, large part of our encumberment. These boots are a little bit beat up. So let's put them in the corner over here with the rest of our gear. I may try and start salvaging stuff in the next day or so too, just to see if maybe we can get... Did I just throw... I just dropped my good boots on the floor. Damn it. Maybe implement a system where you can't drop something you're wearing. Just throw that out there, possibly, so that it asks you or gives you a little pop-up if you try and drop something that you're wearing at the moment. And then obviously we don't need a second can opener. I'll drop that in a minute, but... What else do we have here? We have jeans... Mittens. Okay, I think we're alright. The quality winter coat. Actually, I may break down some of these toques because they're made out of wool, which means I might be able... Let's harvest from the toque. And that's going to give us cloth. Let's go ahead and do that real fast. We've got time to burn anyways, so we might as well. Okay, and we've added cloth to our 63% on this one. So we'll go ahead. I don't know if that's your chance or if that's the quality of the items at, but we're going to go ahead and try and salvage some of this stuff. The basic winter coat we definitely don't want to salvage right now. We just want to salvage the things that we already have. And so I think we're good for right now. Let's maybe think about repairing this right here. So we've got the sewing kit and we've got cloth. We can go with... It takes an hour and a half. That's actually a pretty major time expenditure right now. But how exhausted? We're pretty exhausted and our hunger's pretty high. Let's go for it. Let's just see what happens because we're going to be trying to sleep through the night anyways and I really want to get this fixed. So let's go for it. We might fail. That's the other kind of horrifying thing here that might happen. Did we fail? Oh, 39%. Hey, it worked. Good. Okay, so we might want to harvest some cloth from some of the other stuff laying around too. How did that raise? It's got to have helped out quite a bit. So we've got the quality coat. Let's see how much that brought up. Oh, that brought it up a bit, yeah, to 1.5. I mean, if we could get a couple repairs off right there, I think we could probably get that up to +5, +6. So, all in all, not a bad time investment. I'm going to leave myself... Let's go ahead and drink some water right now. And then it's time to go to bed. Okay, so we got that. Let's start... It is 11:30 right now. I think we could probably make it... Let's go for 6 hours, and we'll just kind of keep... What temperature is it inside right now? Well, we'll probably be fine. Let me place my sleeping bag, and we'll see if that works a little bit better. We do have a bedroll, and it's downfilled, so it might be better than, you know, sleeping anywhere else. We'll try. Let's go for 4 hours right now. No! I picked it up on accident. I can do this. I believe in myself right now. Let's place that. There we go. We'll go for 4 hours right now, and we'll just kind of play it close to the chest at the moment because you will spontaneously die in the middle of the night. The game will not be like, hey, you kind of don't feel so great. Do you want to wake up right now? It'll just be like, you died. Hooray for you. Oh, it saves when you rest. So that maybe that's what happened, is I didn't sleep before I ended the episode. We're in pretty bad condition right now. I'm staring at the ceiling. Okay, so where did our bedroll go? It's right there on the floor. Are we warm, though? We're okay? We're warm? All right, our thirst is looking okay. Let's drink a little bit more water, and then we'll see if we can make it till morning. So we'll drink a half a liter of water, and then we'll fall asleep with our match in our hand, because that's always safe. That's always something that you should do. Let's go till 7 a.m. maybe? Let's go for 6 a.m. No, I did it again. I did it again. Bedroll. I wish... There we go. Go for another 3 hours, although our condition is deteriorating, so... we may be skirting the line a little closely. Okay, so the game is saved. We're at 18% condition right now. Our calories are maxed out at the bottom right now, so they cannot go any lower. We are quite starving. Fatigue is looking okay. I guess we didn't get the greatest sleep all night, but we'll make it work. Let's go ahead and we're gonna front load. Let's drink one of the sodas, I guess. And that should help out with our thirst, which I think is gonna be a little bit powerful right now. Yeah, so that'll lower our thirst. And we'll grab...
Holy...
Let's grab a couple of jerkies and a pork and beans. I probably should have just eaten those off of the ground, but whatever. We'll just eat those right now, and that'll get us even again, so that our condition can be a little bit high. I don't like to have our condition this low, and that's for the main reason is that if you get jumped by a surprise wolf, they do 15% damage no matter what. And so you need to be careful when you're at like 20%, because you can basically be instantly killed by a wolf if you don't catch it. And that totally is lame and is not fun, and it will make you sad. So let's go ahead and eat that as well. I'm going to try and get my condition up a little bit higher so that we're not quite so hungry. But I think we're going to spend the day today out and harvesting just about anything that we can get a hold of. I would really, really, really like to... Let's take some of these jeans and these socks. And we'll take the cloth that's laying on the ground right there. We'll take the toque. Sewing kit we don't need right now. Get the down vest out of the way, because I know I have some toques and stuff laying around here. Yeah, so there it is. Let's go ahead and we're going to salvage some of this stuff while we wait. So I'm going to go for... The cotton long underwear is not looking so great anymore either. Our underwear is looking a little bit worn and beat up. Unfortunately, that's not going to be something that I can remedy right this second. But it is something that I would like to remedy. Our quality winter coat is back down to 19%. How did it get worn down while we were sleeping? This concerns me. Also, we're holding a whole bunch of stuff in our inventory, and none of it is showing up right now. Like the cotton socks and things that we picked up. I think we might be bugged. Oh no, never mind, there it is. It finally refreshed itself. I'm gonna harvest that real fast, and I think it's just about time for me to break off the episode. So I'm gonna harvest the remainder of this cloth. Once we get all this harvested, I'm gonna try and, I don't know, we may go out and see if we can harvest food now that we have a knife from any of the dead deer and things that we find around. It may not be the best use of our time, but it may not be the worst use of our time either, considering we get 1,000 calories from each, you know, I didn't see what the weight allotment was, but it's 0.9 of, I don't know if it was grams or kilograms or what, I think it was probably kilograms. It's 0.9 kilograms of just, you know, random goodies laying around every now and again. I think we can probably front stock our health really, really well, especially if we can get, you know, 4 or 5 kilograms off of each deer. I don't think we can get that much without actually hunting one, but I think we should be able to get at least 2 off each one. I mean, 1.8 or so is what we got off the last one, and that kept us going for a while, so not a bad plan. I'm not going to do my repairs right now, I don't think, but I'll see you on the next episode. Take care out there, everybody, and as always, hi-do.